Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you to this episode of Mahabharat, Heroes and Their Stories. Bhim. In the Hindu epic Mahabharat, Bhim is the second among the five Pandavas. The Mahabharat relates many events that portray the might of Bhim. Bhim was born when Vayu, the wind god, granted a son to Kunti and Pandu. After the death of Pandu and Madhuri, Kunti with her sons stayed in Hastinapur. From his childhood, Bhim had a rivalry with his cousins, Kauravas, especially Duryodhan. Duryodhan and his uncle Chakuni tried to kill Bhim multiple times. One was by poisoning and throwing Bhim into a river. Bhim was rescued by Nagas and was given a drink which made him very strong and immune to all venom. After the event of Lakshagriha, the Pandavas and their mother decided to hide from Hastinapur. During this period, Bhim slew many Rakshasas, including Bakasur and Hidimba. Bhim had three wives: Hidimbi, the Rakshasi sister of Hidimba; Draupadi, who was married to five Pandavas because of Kunti's misunderstanding; and Valandhara, a princess of Kashi kingdom. Ghatotkach, Sutsom, and Savarga were his three sons. After the brothers founded the city of Indraprasth, Bhim went to Magad and killed his mighty ruler Jarasandh. Later, Yudhishthir was invited by Duryodhan to play a game of dice, which he lost. The Pandavas, along with their wife Draupadi, were sent into exile for 13 years. During their exile, Bhim met his spiritual brother, Lord Hanuman. For incognito, the Pandavas chose the Matsya kingdom to hide. There Bhim disguised himself as a cook named Vallabha. He also killed the general of the kingdom Kichka as he tried to molest Draupadi. During Kurukshetra war, Bhim not only killed 100 Kaurava brothers in the battle, he was considered to have a physical strength of 10,000 elephants approximately. The word Bhim in Sanskrit means fearful, terrific, terrible, awful, formidable, tremendous. Bhim was also popularly known as Bhimsen, one who is equivalent to a formidable army. Vrikodara, the wolf-bellied, who has a thumb-sized fire in his stomach. Jarasandhjit, he who won over Jarasandh. Hidambibhrid, he who pierced Hidimba. Kichakjit, he who defeated Krichka. Jehmohdin, fighter against falsehood. And Vallabha, the cook. Along with other Pandava brothers, Bhim was trained in religion, science, administration, and military arts by the Kuru preceptor Kripa and Drona. Specifically, he became a master in using the mace. Bhima's strong point throughout the epic remains his towering strength. He was so wrathful and strong that it was impossible even for Indra to subdue him in a battle. Bhim was also renowned for his giant appetite. At times, half of the total food consumed by the Pandavas was eaten by him. Bhim and Hanuman were celestial brothers, as both of them are Vayu's children. He prayed to Vayu and idolized his brother Hanuman. He used to play practical jokes on the Kaurava brothers. He used to engage in wrestling bouts where he outpowered them with consummate ease. His repeated failures and freckleness against Bhim angered Duryodhan so much that he wanted him dead. He hatched a cunning plot where he poisoned Bhima's food and drowned him in the river Ganga. Thankfully, the Naga king Vasuki saved Bhima and also apprised him of Duryodhana's hatred for him. It was also Vasuki who bestowed him the immense strength of 10,000 elephants. Duryodhan, with his counselor Purochan, hatched a plan to burn the Pandavas alive at a Lak palace, Lakshagraha, at Vanvrat, that Duryodhan had built there, as lacquer is highly inflammable. Thanks to prior notice from Vidur, the Pandavas managed to escape out from the palace, with Bhim played a major role in carrying all five of them, Kunti and the brothers, and escaping to safety. Bhim also barricaded the palace of Purochan and set fire to it, thereby ensuring Purochan became a victim of his own evil plot. Kunti and the Pandavas were living in Agyatwas or incognito after they escaped from the murder plot. Kunti suggested that they be in incognito to avoid further problems from the Kauravas. During their stay at Ekacharka village, the present-day Kevara, they came to be known for the demon Bakasur, who troubled people by eating members of their family and their provisions. The powerful Bhim brought his might to the fore and killed Bakasur, much to the delight of the villagers. At the time, Bhima kills the demon Hidimba, who was the king of demons of the forest Kamakya. He meets his sister Hidimbi. They eventually get married and have a son, Gatotkacha. Hidimbi promises Kunti that she and Gatotkacha will stay out of Pandavas' lives and away from the luxuries of court. When Bhim killed the demon Hidimba, he became the king of Kamakya for 5 years. In Mahabharata, the demon army from Kamakya fought the war alongside the Pandavas. The Pandavas attended Swayamvara of Princess Draupadi. The Pandavas, led by Arjun, were successful at the Swayamvar. With his brothers, he was married to Draupadi, who gave birth to a son, Sootsoma. At a later stage, Bhim also married Princess Valandhara, the daughter of the king of Kashi, and had a son named Savarga. Among Bhima's 3 sons, Savarga, who later ascended the throne to Kashi, did not participate in the Kurukshetra war. Sootsoma was killed by Ashwasthama and Gatotkacha was killed by Karna. When Yudhishthir became emperor of Indraprastha, he sent his 4 younger brothers out in different directions to subjugate the kingdoms for the Rajasuya sacrifice. Bhim was sent out to the east, since Bhishma thought that the Easterners were skilled in fighting from the backs of elephants and in fighting with bare hands. He deemed Bhim to be the most ideal person to wage wars in that region. The Mahabharata mentions several kingdoms to the east of Indraprastha which were conquered by Bhim. Key battles included his fight with Jarasandha of the Magad Empire. Jarasandha was a major hurdle before Yudhishthir when the latter decided to perform the Rajasuya Yagna. As Jarasandha was a powerful warrior, he was extremely necessary for Pandavas to eliminate him. Lord Krishna, Bhima and Arjun, disguised as Brahmins, travelled to Magad and met Jarasandha. After a formal meeting, Jarasandha inquired about their intentions. Krishna, Bhima and Arjun revealed their actual identification. Bhima overpowered Jarasandha after a long duel and almost took Jarasandha to death, but Bhima was unable to kill Jarasandha. When Bhima looked at Krishna for guidance, Krishna picked a twig and dissected it into 2 halves and threw the parts in opposite directions. Bhima compiled and complied with his instructions and dissected the body of Jarasandha. He threw the dissected parts in opposite directions. Jarasandh was killed as two halves of the body could not conjoin. Jarasandh held 100 kings in prison and made them all ready to sacrifice them. He was known to have a rivalry with Krishna, and he wanted the 101st king to be given for the sacrifice. Since Bhim killed Jarasandh, the 100 kings became the supporters of Yudhishthir and accepted him as the Chakravarti Samrat. Once in Badri Kasrama forest, Draupadi scented Sugandhika flower and was deeply attracted to it. The lotus species was not to be located easily, so Bhim went in search of the flower and ended up at Kuber's palace. He was stopped in his tracks by the Rakshasas called the Krodhavasas, but he defeated them all and reached the lotus pond. He also slew the Rakshasa Maniman, a wicked demon who had in the past incurred a curse from Rishi Agastya. Being unused to the water of the pond, Bhim fell asleep on its shore. Later the Pandavas arrived with Krishna and Draupadi in search of Bhim. They met Kuber, who offered them baskets of Sugandhika lotuses and sent them on their way. Kuber was especially happy as the slaughter of Maniman had relieved him of the curse too. Bhim tries to lift Hanuman's tail during his search for the Sugandhika flower. Bhim saw an old monkey lying in the path, whose long tail was outstretched the region. Bhim in pride asked the monkey to move the tail, blocking his path. But the monkey replied, saying he's too old and has no strength to do that, and requested that Bhim do it instead. Outraged at being commanded by someone inferior to him, he grabbed the monkey's tail with his left hand with intention of swirling him via it and sending him in the air, and to his surprise, he wasn't able to move it. So he used both his hands and all his might, but wasn't able to raise it. Defeated and surprised, he asked the monkey for forgiveness with joined hands. The monkey revealed its true self, Hanuman, his brother, as they both were Vayu's children. Bhim received Hanuman's blessing in the form of increased strength. He warned Bhim of the path ahead, warned him of the prophesied war, and blessed him of victory in all his endeavors, and left. Before the battle had begun, Bhim suggested that Satyaki would lead the Pandava forces as their general, but Yudhishthir and Arjun opted for Drishtadyumna. The charioteer of Bhima's chariot was Vishoka, while the flag bore the image of a gigantic lion in silver with its eyes made of lapis lazuli, and his chariot was yoked to horses as black as bears or black antelopes. He yielded a celestial bow named Vayavya, which was given by Vayu, the wind god, and also possessed a huge mace whose strength was equivalent to 100,000 maces, presented by Lord Hanuman himself. Bhima disguises himself in battle several times throughout the war. Some of Bhima's major engagements during the war included the second day. On the second day of the war, he encounters the Kalinga army. He slays Kalinga king Shrutyusha's son Shakardeva and the two Kalinga generals Satya and Satyadeva. He also wounds Eklavya's son Ketumat. He also defeated and nearly killed Duryodhan in wrestling, but failed to kill him due to the sunset. On the 14th day of the war, Bhim defeated Drona by smashing his chariot 11 times and penetrating the Kaurava formation in order to aid Arjun in his quest to slay Jayadratha. The 16th day of the Kurukshetra war is completely dedicated to Bhim. He dominated other warriors and became a hero on the 16th day of the war. Bhim was the only warrior who refused to submit to the invincible Narayanastra weapon launched by Ashwasthama on the 15th day of the war and was quickly defeated by it. On the 16th day of the war, Karan was appointed to protect Dushasan from the clutches of Bhim. Soon Karna picked up a sword and rushed on to Bhim. As soon as they engaged in a sword fight, when Bhim was about to stab Karan, defeating him, Karan's son Banasen came in aid of his father. On seeing Banasen, Bhim got angered as his own son Ghatotkach was slain by Karan. Banasen challenged Bhim and soon attacked Bhim with mace. Bhim brutally but fairly killed Banasen in front of Karan. Bhim killed Banasen by hitting him several times on his head, chest, and abdomen. Seeing his son's fate, Karan grabbed a mace and attacked Bhim. Still in anger, Bhim and Karan fought several times, but Karan eventually won in the end and Bhim retreated. Bhim asked Karan to take his son's body to perform funeral and later fight with Arjun. Bhim had a fierce fight with Ashwasthama, who repeatedly called him a coward because he slew an elephant. They hurled several powerful arrows at each other, and the duel was witnessed by Hanuman, the son of Vayu, like Bhima, and Amisha of Shiva, like Ashwasthama. The battle was so intense and astonishing that it was being witnessed by all celestial beings as well. Eventually, both of them fell unconscious on their respective chariots by the end of that terrifying battle. Later, Bhima headed to kill Dushasan. Bhima defeated and brutally killed Dushasan on the 16th day of the war in front of Duryodhan. After the war, Dhritarashtra was enraged by Bhima's slaying of his sons. When the Pandavas arrived at Hastinapur to claim the kingdom and pay their respects, Krishna, sensing his anger, placed an iron statue of Bhima in front of Dhritarashtra. When embracing Bhim, Dhritarashtra crushed the statue into pieces, but later realized his folly and apologized. He later hugged Bhima wholeheartedly. Yudhishthira appointed Bhim as the commander-in-chief of Hastinapur. Upon the onset of the Kali Yuga, Bhim and the other Pandavas retired. Giving up all their belongings and ties, the Pandavas made their final journey of pilgrimage to the Himalayas. On the journey, the group, one by one, begins to fall. When Bhim tries and falls down, he asks his elder brother why he, Bhima, is unable to complete the journey to heaven. Yudhishthir explains his brother's voice of gluttony. In some versions of the story, Yudhishthir points out Bhima's boastfulness, pride, and battle lust as the reasons for his fall. With this, we come to an end to this episode of Mahabharat and its heroes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, this is your host, Madhulika Chauhan, signing off. Stay healthy always. Narayan, Narayan.